Shalom, brothers. Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First things first, we give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors, apostles, and elders in his truth, from GMS. Blessings to the Akim out there preaching his word with wholehearted true sincerity. And blessings to the 144,001 the first fruits kingdom of heaven, the house of David, the Biyaf Dawadah. And shalom to you confusion facing brothers who are speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom. So today, the Spirit of God on me to meditating on this particular video for about a day now. I wanted to get into the basics. The so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Indians are the Israelites of the chosen people of the Most High. And I'm gonna get into Deuteronomy 28 in the Bible to give the curses to prove that we are. So in Deuteronomy 28. Is the chapter where the blessings and the curses of the Israelites of the Bible are. And also they are, the curses is how we are able to identify, according to the Bible, that we're the Israelites, which are, again, the so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Indians. So here, let me get into Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to go Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now it says, now this is where you can get into where it's, now mind you, the chosen people of the Bible were considered to be above all nations. You can also get that also as well in Deuteronomy 7:6, where it says, for thou art a holy people, which holy means separate, unto the Lord thy power, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So there you go again, when it goes into the fact that the Most High chose them to be above all people on the face of the earth. And then obviously here in the blessing, he will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And there's a lot of blessings into this that we had for a second, and then obviously we're going to get these blessings again in the kingdom of heaven, which is coming up very soon. But my point in the video is right now we're the cursed people. So from 15 it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's what happened. So we were the people of Egypt that was delivered out of Egypt with Moses, and we were supposed to keep these law, statute, commandments of the Bible, 10 commandments, and also the other ones to the best of our abilities, about 613 of them in all. We did not do that, so now we are cursed in Deuteronomy 28 and 15, like it says. And now I got some curses that I wanted to get into specifically that would signify that we are the chosen people by the curses. Is how we know, because those other Jewish people over in the land right now are not the real Jews at all. So I wanted to get into Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Let's got that one. I wanted to get into 37. It says, let me see. Well, let me go to 46, I believe. Let me go to 45 and 46 first. It says, again, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And it says, they shall be upon you upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And that's exactly what happened. So now that these signs are, so like basically us brothers go into, let me slow down. When you go, how do you know it's McDonald's? Because you see the sign. How do you know it's a Chevy dealer? Because it says Chevrolet as a sign. Same concept with us. These are the signs and wonders that let us know that we are the chosen people upon these curses. Now I want to go to 37, Deuteronomy 38 and 28 and 37. It says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee." And a proverb and a byword is what you would call nigger, spics, wetbacks, African American, Negro, black. Those are the bywords the proverbs that the Deuteronomy 28 and 37 is getting into, that we can identify ourselves as. And that's what a proverb and a byword is. And that's also one of the curses that what it is, because we are bywords and proverbs to the neck. I mean, we were from 1681 we were black, 1988 we were African American. In between that we was Negros. Wetback, spics. Just filthy animals. I mean, monkeys, all kinds of different things of that nature. And then you got 46. No, let me see. I want to get into 54. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. "So that the man that is tender among you, your brother, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave." Now, when you got his eye shall be evil toward his brother, that right there is black on black crime. That's the reason why the so-called Negros, Latinos, and the Indians, predominantly Judah, are always killing each other in Chicago and Philadelphia, all across the America, where you predominantly will locate black on black crime. That's what that is. And you have and toward his wife, the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. That's the only people that you can think of that has problems with single parent homes. The so-called Negros, Latino, and the Indians, predominantly the Negros, they're the ones who have no fathers at all, because the father always leaving, probably on drugs, in jail, or just felt like he couldn't do it. The so-called Negro man is the ones who leave the son and the daughters the most. And that's also a curse. And that's why that happens. That's a curse. And so when I'm reading this, it's giving our brothers and sisters a identification on why these things are happening. And these are happening because we are the Israelites. The so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Indians are the chosen people that the Most High himself chose. And go back to 15. And because we are going through these things, it says, "But it shall come to pass that if thou would not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." And this is and as me going through these curses, select few of them. This is the reason why we struggle and we go through these situations, and why these things happen. The father leaves, the mom. Oh, matter of fact, let me go to 56. "The tender and delicate woman among which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, and for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter." And see, when it comes to her husband, that's why our women go, "You ain't gonna see your fucking son." Excuse my language. Child support. Kicking the man out. And not to mention, it says it was at Jeremiah 30, where the woman shall come past a man. And that's for 31. And that's what happened. Women have great power, and they're able to pretty much give us hell. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Let me see. Joyful. Let me see. Longing. Okay, 32 is a good one. That happened to us in slavery. "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day, and there shall be no might in thy hand." So there's nothing we can do when our children was taken from us. That was taken from us, and we couldn't do nothing about it. Only one people that ever happened to. That only happened to one people. Let me see. One of the most popular, Deuteronomy, I'm gonna get to that one last. Let me see. blind. Let me see. Jump man for sight of the eyes. Smite thee in the knees and the legs. That's a good one. Let me see. So like it, brothers. I really wanted to. That's a good one. 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. That happened to us as well. That's also a very high indication. Let me see. Moreover, I just brought that out. Let me see. 48. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that happened to the so-called Negro, Latino, Indians, especially the Negros. You know what I'm saying? The yoke of iron. We had those chains and yoke of iron on our necks. You see that in the slavery books. And look at us today. When we go buy water and food and clothes, we have to go to the so-called white man in order to, because Esau is our enemy. I didn't bring that out yet, but Esau is our biggest, because the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, and the wicked is the so-called white man that actually run this world, and we have to go to them for all things. They are our enemies. Thy enemies that's who our enemies are, and also the other nations, but predominantly Esau. And we got to go to the markets. We got to buy water, clothes. We got to go to the white man in order to get these things. Passport, identification, licenses. In order to sustain ourselves and survive, we have to go to the so-called white man in order to get these things, in order to survive. That's what it's going into. Very important. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to end it off on Deuteronomy 28:68. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, first things first, remember, when the Israelites were brought out of Egypt, they never went back. So it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, which means our homeland. So we were taken from Israel and we fled Israel, went into Africa, and the Africans, the Hamites, sold the Israelites into slavery to the so-called white man. And it says, and there shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, which buy you means redeem you. Now, right here in Egypt, remember, Egypt and Israel are located very close together. So they were so that'd be pretty much a walking distance. So we never went back. It never happened. But it says with ships. Now it says Egypt though. So if you go to Exodus, the definition of Egypt, Exodus 20, and I believe in 4. It says 20 and 2, I believe. And it says, and I am the Lord Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is the house of bondage. So it's captivity and slavery. So when you go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, it says, I will take you into and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again, which is the house of bondage again with ships. So now we will go into slavery again via ships. The only people that ever happened to were the so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Indians. This is why Deuteronomy 28 is here to be able to identify who you are as according to these curses. Not to mention 54 is the point. 46, I believe. And they shall be upon thee a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And these are signs and wonders that let us know how it happened. So we will go into Egypt again with ships. Only one people that ever happened to via ships. And it says, they shall see it no more, homeland, and there shall be sold unto your enemies, so-called white man, for bondmen and bondwomen. The only people that ever happened to. And no man shall buy you, mean redeem you or save you out of it. We are the Israelites of the Bible, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Indians. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I brought this side, Lord willing. This is edifying to you, brothers, that let you know that we are the Israelites. And I just want to say, Yahweh, He is to be, exists by Hashem in the name, and the only begotten Son and Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah, He deliverer, by Hashem in the name, and the Holy Spirit, Rakak Wadash. Double honors, apostles, elders, learners, truth from. Blessings to the Akim out there preaching His word with wholehearted true sincerity. And blessings to the 144,000 and 1/3, the first fruits kingdom of heaven, house of David, the Biyaf Dawadah, and Shalom to you, Confusion Faces brothers that speak in different tongues and look in different nations. Now, if you watch this video, I will advise you, if you're new to this, that you should go and look up the true Hebrew Israelites. Just check out your culture. This is not a religion. This is a culture and a bloodline. Shalom, brothers.